Ну, я тут. Ну, Мара, это результат, молодец. Я, кажется, меньше потерял. Или больше, я не знаю. Где это посмотреть? Я там только пару дней прошло, я начал туда рашить сюжетку просто.
Who goes there? That nightmare again. I need a drink.
Ей максимальный экклеренс, потом инвестигейшн докачаем. Это да, не любят разговаривать. Так, дайте мне 2 минутки. Я сейчас воды забыл взять. Вечный дошик. Вечно забывает воду забрать. Как так-то? Там последний месяц главы то ли 30-е, то ли 31-е. Там, когда ты уже поедешь черепом кататься, там считай, что следующая миссия будет это. Ну, короче, когда тебе скажут проникнуть на какую-то непонятную базу черепа, тогда вот считай, что уже последние 2 главы осталось. Это и Сихилантропос.
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Значит, 31, да.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What
Ну, а
happened?
дальше будет веселье.
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins, and that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
I didn't see what, but something was there with us.
Но если ты сможешь без палева зачистить базу
Sanders said,
черепа, то ты лучше, чем я.
visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at
Ну,
the Sanders
это
household,
посмотрим.
please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
He's right. We can't ignore the truth.
But it could drive her mad.
Better madness than ignorance. Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
Let us go now and learn the truth about what's happening on this island.
Что у меня за татуировка на руке? Ну, идем к Сандерсам. Поздороваемся хоть. Соседи как-никак. Капа.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well, look who's here. You know each other.
We
Да.
met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me. May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her.
Понятно. Ревнует.
Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
We had a short conversation and then I left. I don't know what happened after that.
Oh, I see. Mr. Pierce, you must forgive my audaciousness. But I've had practice of life in high society for over 30 years. Reading one's interlocutors, recognizing the politeness of a lie, are things that are taught very early to young girls from a good family. But your lie has nothing polite about it. It is crass, insulting, and dare I say, terribly suspicious. Try to understand my position. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
Mrs. Sanders, I understand your grief and I extend my deepest condolences to you. But I had nothing to do with the death of your husband. I've just arrived on Darkwater. I'm investigating the death of the Hawkins family.
The death of the Hawkins family? You mean it was not an accident?
Nope.
This accursed island knows only tragedy after tragedy. You too would be advised to flee it like the plague. Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders.
Конечно, я
I won't be
посмотрю.
long.
Ты еще и сомневаешься?
Did she really care for him after all?
Какая-то комбинация нужна, или я просто могу делать красивую мелодию? Медицина хотя бы 2-й уровень.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
Magnifying glass. Ну, это самая мелодичная вещь, которую я могу сделать с этого набора аккордов. Check of all trades. Inspect 50 items.
A strange Amerindian pendant. I could use one of those. Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing. An old diary.
Ну, прокачал оккультизм, уже неплохо.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more
Например,
fatal than
Майкок.
others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
I'm not here to cause trouble, if that's what's worrying you.
Worry me? Don't overestimate yourself. If the last beating wasn't enough for you, I can always give it another go. But as long as you keep out of my way, you're free to carry on with your visit.
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network, and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say? Not now, sweetheart. I'd like to read this without some snoop looking over my shoulder.
Ебать. Тут так много вещей.
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
Хватит артефактов, братан.
The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery. Why was he so interested in old weapons?
Почему я могу прятаться?
The public entrance to the gallery.
Почему мне это начинает напоминать этого... Блин, про мужика с фонариком. Как эта игра называлась?
What the hell was that?
Alan Wake, да. Ай, понятно, скучная хуйня.
What the hell was that? Damn. Maybe I can use this dagger.
В смысле? А как ты хочешь им пользоваться, умник?
What the hell was that?
Блядь, начинает выглядеть как хуета, блядь.
What the hell was that? Maybe I can use this dagger.
А как им пользоваться? Control, keyboard, run, interaction, shoot. Что мне с ним делать надо? Чат, может быть, у вас есть какие-то идеи? Я не могу его пырнуть. Я не могу в него ничего кинуть. Я не могу выйти из комнаты. Просто нахуя мне тогда дали эти кинжалы? Шестая. Это 6 глава. Это там Мэншн. Сандерс Мэншн. Может, мне нужно найти определенный ключ.
I can't even touch it.
Блять, какая же это хуета. Мне дают оружие, но я не могу им пользоваться.
What the hell was that?
Мне дают зачем-то заправки на фонарик, хоть фонарик нихуя этой херни не делает. Да ну ёб твою мать. Еще пара смертей, которые я не пойму, что мне, блять, в этой игре делать надо. Я захочу ее дропнуть. Что логично. Игра не дает никаких хинтов. Понять бы, какой нож мне нужен.
Maybe I can use this dagger.
Это была подметка? Иди нахуй! Если бы я мог понять, как выглядит этот нож, было бы понятно.
What the hell was that?
А так, если это чистый рандом, 20-30, сука, итераций, это, простите меня, хуета.
Damn. Did it hear that?
Да ты, сука! Я еще раз начинаю вспоминать, почему я не люблю хоррор-игры. Потому что это скучно.
What the hell was that?
Кинь генерал. Так я таким ножом же вроде бы был пырнул мне. Не этот. Блять, этим же ж был и пырнул.
This dagger looks different.
Вот этот. Даже что он сказал какую-то фразу дебильную. Я бы не назвал это неожиданностью.
What's the matter with you? You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
I was attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
I ran, screamed, broke a pane of glass. You were in the next room and you didn't hear a thing.
If I hadn't heard a thing, I'd still be in the other room. The door was blocked. I got in as soon as I could. I like to look after my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller. I still got things to settle with Irene.
The time has come.
О,
Execute order
Краб.
66.
спасибо, краб, за пипиську. Чё там, как оно? Этот кок какой-то... Меня эта миссия выбесила. Дебильная хуйня с дебильным клинком. Не люблю подолгу тратить время на такое говно. Эх. В каком плане разъебали? Ты или тебя? А то что-то с этой фразы непонятно. Тогда грустно.
Where's the bookseller?
А ты этот кок играл?
The interpretation of dreams. It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century.
Это уже половину игры прошел. Вроде бы как. Ну почти. Когда закончу 7 главу, тогда получается половина глав в кармане. Относительно. Скажем так, как детективная история, конечно, пока что не дотягивает. Слишком много нелогичности.
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion. What does this strange book contain? This book contains unholy knowledge.
Но Unholy Knowledge это неплохо. Качаем как оккультизм. А еще, возможно, свою шизу.
What happened here? Let's start over. Where did they blood? Seems like amateur work. Someone tall left this footprint. A man, probably. This burglar seems to be rather clumsy.
Бурглар.
What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work? What killed all these animals? What the... Charles Hawkins? Looks like the symbol rejected Hawkins. Where did I see it? What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess?
What form of power is this?
Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe. Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case.
Ну, с того, что я понимаю, я ни хера не понимаю. Это раз. Два. Это хардбас. В целом, думаю, объясню. А больше ничего не пропустил? Не, сюда выхода нет.